it's Zadie and you're watching my channel Flytte Kartina, but today is going to be something very, very different. So cool, I'm so excited for this. Hey guys, today I'm here with my friend Ryan from NerdyBlurb TV. Ryan, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody else?
Yo, what's up everybody? This is Ryan from NerdyBlurb TV. Zadie, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. This is awesome. Finally getting on the Flytte Kartina channel. Can I get an amen? I love this channel. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to talk about some cool movie stuff.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Ryan, why don't you tell them what we're actually talking about here in this video?
So, if I remember right, we're talking about adapted movies. Books that become movies. And I gotta tell you, I'm super excited because I love reading. I read a lot within a single year, and a lot of those books become movies, or at least I wish that they would. So I'm pretty excited to talk about some movie books.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun to be talking with Ryan about this sort of thing, and it's just like an altogether great experience for the both of us, yeah? Today we're gonna be talking about, that's right, the good and the bad of movies that are based off of books, and I brought in Ryan as a second opinion. And this is my first collaboration ever. Ryan, thank you so much for coming. It's been a blast trying to collab with you on your channel, and now it's so much fun to be on mine. Let's just start off with what you think is the best book adapted film.
Okay, so great question because there are a lot out there that are actually pretty good. I can't say that I've read all of them, so I'm not going to necessarily mention them, but I'm not really going to mention any of the really popular ones too, like Hunger Games or Harry Potter or Narnia, even though I loved the Narnia movies and I really love the books. As well as Harry Potter. I grew up with Harry Potter, but no film was ever going to do it justice in my eyes. So it's kind of hard to say with those kind of popular things. But books, when it comes to the books that I've read and I've watched the movie, I gotta put Pride and Prejudice up there as probably top with Keira Knightley. Even though a lot of people say the TV series is so much better, I loved the movie. And another one that I actually thought was really, really good, not to mention that it kept really, really close to the source material, was Little Women, even though there are a couple movies that are, or at least a couple remakes of those movies, and the most recent one is actually not fairly similar because it is showing the story from one perspective rather than everybody's perspective. I like that when it comes to books adapted into movies. But I think the best one, if we're talking about the best one, rather than some of my favorites, which would probably be Da Vinci Code, because I freaking love that kind of stuff. Angels and Demons is a good one. But I gotta give it to Kill a Mockingbird, because first off, it's a classic movie, it's a classic book, did it in a classy way.
Exactly.
And it still holds up today, which is so great. Atticus Finch is actually one of my all-time greatest heroes, and portrayed by Gregory Peck, become the quintessential protagonist, in my opinion. And that's really key, I think, is to have a book that, or a movie that's really close to the source material and has a really good cast, like Gregory Peck as Atticus Finch. It was freaking amazing, and I love it. I don't know if you've seen that or read it, but it's so great.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen the movie. Or at least I don't remember it. But To Kill a Mockingbird, the story is timeless. It's like The Great Gatsby. You just can't stop recreating those moments, those impactful, insightful scenes that everybody remembers. It's so cool. I think one of my favorite movies is Crazy Rich Asians, and this is more of a modern thing. Like, it's not as classic as To Kill a Mockingbird. I got to read the book and see the movie, and I thought the two stories were very unified in their storytelling, which I think is important in a book adapted film. But I totally see what you're talking about in terms of like Little Women and Da Vinci Code. So cool. The thing about referencing source material is that either you're emulating it or everything's just based off of it, if that makes sense. And let's just talk about, what do you think, Ryan, filmmakers should learn about your favorite book adapted film.
Crazy Rich Asians was one of my favorite movies of 2018. I really, really, really liked that. And I was considering reading the book, but I hate to ruin the movie for me because some books do that. And I think that is what filmmakers can kind of remember, is that these are products that people love. Like Harry Potter, for example. It did all right, and I can't say that everybody really has read all of those books. My generation grew up on them, so I can't say that the next read them because they watched the movies, but they're fairly different, but they did all right. But other movies that didn't do too great is they completely change a character, or they change a role, or change a plot line, or something really big. A few things, because Angels and Demons is one of my favorite books, there was a few things that bothered me because they changed things. Now, I think that is actually a common thing that people might say to answer that question, which is stay near the source material. But I actually think something that's even more important than that is the cast. Just like I said, with Atticus Finch, Gregory Peck, and To Kill a Mockingbird, one of the greatest protagonists of all time, because Gregory Peck is one of the greatest actors of all time, nailed it. So, in my opinion, when it comes to adapting the best book, or at least a book, into the best movie, I think the cast has to be spot on. Little Women, in my opinion, this newest one, friggin' nailed it. And it was amazing to see. Another one that does really great is in Interview with a Vampire, which is a really funny thing to say because Anne Rice, the author of the book, actually hated the fact that Tom Cruise was going to play Lestat. And he killed it. Literally, he killed it. He's a vampire. He's living dead, and he killed it. And I think that that's really important because when you get a really good cast behind really great characters, which is really the number one thing I latch onto in a book, I think that's the most important thing a filmmaker can do.
Oh yeah, totally. The cast makes a huge difference. If you get somebody who looks like what you think the character should look like but has no acting talent whatsoever, then you're doing it wrong. You're just kind of doing fan service. But let's switch gears and talk about, what do you think is the worst book adapted film? Like, just tell me. Lay it all on me, Ryan. Just kind of get on with that.
So that is actually a hard question for me because I don't like wasting my time when it comes to bad movies or bad books or just things that I don't think I'm going to get a lot of time with. So I'm not going to go and see everything. I'm not going to go and read everything. I like to choose things particularly. Like if I really liked the book, I probably won't go and see the movie because of how much I enjoyed the book. Because when I went and saw Angels and Demons the first time, I went and saw it midnight, and I was really mad because the people I was going with were falling asleep, and I can't stand that in movies. But on top of that, they changed a lot of things that I wasn't super on board with at the time. Rewatching it, I'm like, whatever, it's all good, it's cool. But I feel like that are some things that I talked about earlier, but like changing things can ruin that. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't as bad as Dark Tower. Now, I can't say I've read all of the Dark Tower books, but the Dark Tower movie put like 7 or 9 or however many books all within one movie. And if you ever read one of those books or anything by Stephen King, you'll know that they're leaving out way too much. Well, first off, there's a lot of books. But second off, Stephen King likes to put in a lot of stuff. So it's like you're missing a lot of cool things that could have happened. I didn't see that movie. I have read some of the books. I didn't see it because I knew that was the case. It was all of these books. There wasn't going to be any more sequels to the movie. So I'm like, screw that. That's a bad decision. So that, in my opinion, is a bad way to go about that. Now, here's the thing, is that maybe I'll give it a try. Maybe I'll read the rest of those books. Who knows? All I know is that I am not cool with a movie just watering down stuff. I think that's another big thing that filmmakers can actually learn from. Taking things, changing things, that's okay because you need to fit things within a storytelling medium in the visuals that video does, but you can't change too much and you can't water it down. Those are some very cardinal rules. Like, here's a great example. Ready Player One changed a lot of stuff, and a lot of people didn't like that, but I enjoyed it because it was two different experiences. The book is great. But there were things when I found out the movie was going to be coming out, I was like, how are they going to do that? And then they didn't in the movie, and I thought that was a good call because they're two different experiences, which was great. The Golden Compass, though, here's another one I just thought of. The Golden Compass is a sucky movie. And I'm glad to hear that they're making a TV series on HBO. So that'll be very interesting to see if it's actually close to the source material. But my wife actually says that not only is it, like, confusing when the book was pretty good when it comes to explaining everything, it was just so cheesy. So don't water things down, y'all, and don't put everything all in one, and don't change too much. Also, you gotta make a good movie too, right?
Yeah, I mean, the movie has to be good. Like, I mean, it's kind of a prerogative. I feel like filmmakers just kind of they're like, okay, it's a moneymaker. People already know the story, so we're just not going to really do anything about it and, you know, not make it any better. We're just going to make it worse. Golden Compass, I didn't even see that. I remember seeing previews about it, and when I was younger, I was like, oh, that looks so cool, because I was just looking at the visual effects and everything, and I was like, oh, I want to have my own cat that can turn into a butterfly. Like, that's great. But I totally get what you mean. A Wrinkle in Time was probably my worst movie experience ever. Read the book when I was in high school, and then saw one of the movie adaptions. I don't remember which one in particular because I forgot it. It was traumatic for me when I was in high school. And then I saw the one, I'm talking about the Wrinkle in Time in 2018, I think it was. 2018 with Oprah Winfrey and Chris Pine and, you know, those kid actors. Oh my gosh, the storytelling was awful. It was so bad. Like, they set things up, they didn't even deliver. I don't remember much of the book, but I think it was right. Like, it was cast very wrongly. Chris Pine did what he could. He really tried very, very hard about that. But it's just one of those things that you just can't get over. And storytelling was so bad, it made me not want to read the books. This segment was fun, yeah?
Not only was this a lot of fun, but I expect to come back because there are a lot of other books that I would be super excited to talk about that are coming out or that I'd love to actually see be on the screen. Like, Blake Crouch is actually making the craziest stuff that we could ever conceive on paper that'll be into movies on Netflix. He's going to be building a whole multiverse within the universe that he has created within his books. They're starting with a movie, then are branching off into different multiple adapted realities into TV series. It's so great, and I feel like a lot of people miss out on that kind of stuff because they're not willing to read, or they're just gonna wait for it. But there's so much that can be said about books that can be coming out to movies. I'm currently reading The Recursion by Blake Crouch, and it is freaking blowing my mind because I read his Dark Matter book, and they're gonna make that into a movie. If you want multiverse, cool time traveling stuff, go read that. It's freaking cool, because I'd like to talk to you about it too. So, like, if you'd like me to come back, or if you'd like to come over at my channel at NerdyBlurb TV, go and hit me up, let me know, and you're more than welcome. And I'd like to hear from anybody else in the comments to see if they've actually read those books, any of the books that we've talked about here today. Comment down below, tell me what one is your favorite. That'd be great. And go say hi to me. Thanks so much.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Ryan, for coming. It's so fun to be able to collab with other creators. I'm really open to this idea, and it's super fun to just talk with Ryan. He and I have been buds for a little bit, so it's just kind of one of those things, and it was really great. Before you answer the question that Ryan asked you, which is basically, do you want to see this happen again, and like more of this book stuff and movie adaptations and stuff. We're not necessarily talking about like the literary analysis of books. We're talking about the movie side of it. Anyways, before you scroll all the way down to answer Ryan's question, I would like you to hit 3 buttons: the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell notification icon. The like button lets me know that you like this video and this kind of stuff, and I'll keep doing it. The subscribe button lets me know that you really like my channel overall, or like me and Ryan's channel overall. That'd be great if you gave him a subscribe too. The bell notification icon is actually specifically for you guys, so that you're one of the first people to know when I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great random Thursday, and I will see you on the other side of the screen. Thanks, Ryan.